Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Introduction to Computer Science, week number 5 lecture recording. I am sharing with you from Blackboard, week number 5 material. And so here is the usual objective listing, and here is the instructional material. Everything is up here except for the videos. I plan to record at least 2, if not more, smaller videos, so you can kind of concentrate on a particular a video rather than one long one. So this video is just the overview of the lesson plan, and I'll have a separate video on the lecture and a demo itself. Here is the well, before I go on, so here's the lesson plan that you can look. Here's some of the codes, and here's the how to install PyCharm, detailed notes, and here's one for the PyCharm for Mac users, and here's some tutorial for the PyCharm, and then here's the Microsoft Visual Studio, how to install that. I will talk more about it a little bit later, but here's all the material. There are 4 assignments that are given this week. There's a little bit of the Zybook Chapter 7. I'm assigning only 2 sections out of that. And then Zybook Chapter 8. There'll be 3 sections here. And the third one is the building a PC exercise research lab activity. I'll talk more about it as well. And then lastly, installation of a Python IDE. Okay, so let me bring up the lesson plan and let's go over them. So let me minimize this here and then bring in the lesson plan. And so as I briefly mentioned, I'm going to talk a little bit about the assignments. So you need to do the Zybook Chapter 7 and 8, which I recorded here. Let me talk a little bit more now about the PC building exercise. So if you look at the textbook, let me bring that up here for a second. So here's the textbook, and this is for Chapter 5, talking about the computing components. So instead of talking more about particular parts, I made it into an exercise for you to do. So what I'd like you to do is to, given this parameter of $1,000, I'd like you to research online and put together a PC, a gaming PC. So you will need to find out what kind of parts you need. You need to find out where to get them and how much they cost. And basically, you need to list them and not go over the budget. I don't want you to skimp out too much just for the sake of 1,000. I think now, if you buy the parts altogether, you should come pretty well below 1,000. But I think this is kind of interesting lab that you could do. Some people actually put together a computer as a result of this. Okay. And so that's the lab, and you just need to turn it in a Microsoft Word listing of what you need to do. And there are plenty of websites that you can go and visit how to put together a PC by parts. You can view, and here's one of them. Okay. No, you cannot do the like one in all. That just kind of defeats the purpose. All right. Actually, that's the lecture. Now let me bring the, go back here, actually. Okay, so that's what that was about. So in terms of the installation of Python, let me put this on the side a little bit and then share this here. So for this assignment, I'd like you to install a Python IDE for you to use. And the reason for this is, as I mentioned at the very beginning, you're going to need to at least know how to use Python IDE so that you can work with files. And I think you should have an experience of how to actually install and use the platform rather than just the online one. So that's all you have to do. I mean, that's what you need to do. In terms of exact choice of your Python ID, it doesn't really matter which one you put it in or you download install. You can do whatever you said you liked as a Python compiler choice that I asked you a couple of weeks ago. So you can do any one of them. But here are two kind of popular. There are more than these two, but if you happen to choose the Microsoft Visual Studio or PyCharm, then I did list a lot of resources and instruction on how to do that. You certainly don't have to use what I wrote here, but I thought I should give you some resources so that you're not just left hanging out there and say, well, what do I do? So you could use that, but again, you can use whatever you want to install. All right, but do let me know when you turn this in. Just submit a successful installation of what it is that you're installing, and then just tell me. It should be obvious as to which one you're installing, but just to kind of make it clear, let me know when you turn it in. All right. So you're going to need to do that for this week, because starting next week we probably going to work on some file stuff. All right. So that's pretty much what I wanted to give you. Quick overview of what's going on. Just a few side comments. This is week number 5. That means we are definitely over the hump of the term, and so after this week, you only have a few more weeks to go. So I think most people are on track with their assignments, but if you happen to be a little bit behind, now is a good time for you to catch up. And I'll try to open up a little bit more when I get a chance for the rest of the weeks, so you can kind of move ahead if you like. All right. So this is pretty much it for. Let's see. Let me just in case, just to be kind of complete on this lesson plan, I wanted to show you. Here's the online platform. Here's the where you go for the download, which is also maybe I ought to put this guy a copy here. Well, I'll talk about it in the lecture material. But anyway, you can do Mac and Linux and Windows. Here's some help, and here's a textbook. Let me also show how it might look like. So here's a PyCharm that I downloaded, installed on the iMac, and all just like when you found it on the online here, you can just copy one of these or or whatever, and then you can just paste it onto here, whatever your code is, as it's already there, and all you have to do is just run it, right? And then it'll say whatever. And then if you say, see, okay, hold on a second. All right, let's see here. Okay, hello world. Okay, and if you just run it, that's what you get down here, hello world. But anyway, so you could kind of, I'll talk more about this in the lecture material. Okay, well, stay warm and safe, and have a great week. Look forward to receiving your work. Take care.